Did you know Cleopatra was closer to the moon landing than the Great Pyramid? Yep, that's right. Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt, the queen with more eyeliner than anyone could possibly imagine, lived closer in time to humans landing on the moon in 1969 than to the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Let's break it down. The Great Pyramid was finished around 2500 BCE. Cleopatra ruled around 30 BCE. That's a gap of roughly 2,470 years between the pyramid and Cleopatra. Fast forward from Cleopatra to the moon landing, and it's only about 2,000 years. So if we imagine time like a giant ruler stretching across history, pyramid row, Cleopatra, moon landing, Cleopatra is technically hanging out closer to astronauts in spacesuits than to giant stone blocks. Why this blows minds: most people think of ancient Egypt as so long ago, like forever ago, and pyramids as timeless monuments. But in reality, Cleopatra could have read about the pyramids in her history books if they had libraries. Meanwhile, she's historically closer to watching Neil Armstrong say, "One small step for man." It's like if your great-great-grandparents said, "I remember the time the Great Pyramid was built," but you're actually closer to them than they were to that pyramid. Pyramid. Fun way to imagine it: if the history of Egypt were a 24-hour clock, the pyramids were built at 8 o'clock a.m. Cleopatra shows up at 11:58 p.m. Humans land on the moon at 11:59 p.m. Basically, Cleopatra is basically the last-minute guest in the ancient party, right before humans start flying to the moon. Takeaway: history isn't always how we imagine it. Even ancient figures like Cleopatra aren't as far removed from our modern world as we might think. Next time you see the pyramids, just remember, Cleopatra wasn't that long ago. And in a way, she's closer to astronauts than to stone blocks.